Why are budget robo-vacuums now having the same suction power as flagship models? Well, let me introduce you to the Roborock Q7 M5 Plus and its sister, the Roborock Q7, which is not coming with the clean station. And these are really engineered to be vacuuming specialists. So what that means is that they're going to be coming with that anti-tangle brush roll, but they're going to be combining that with a lot of power. However, they're not going to come with the best in terms of the mopping technology, and it's still going to be coming with some pet hair management. So as an overall RoboVac, it's still going to be a jack of all trades. Now, the secret is that when you place it and you want to do a test with it, you just send it out and it's not going to have any front-facing cameras. But because it has that precise sense LiDAR, but no reactive tech, I do find that the performance here is very good. However, it's not that predictable. And just to be clear, that 10,000 Pascal suction power is the same suction power you get in the Roborock S8 Max V Ultra. And Pascals really measure the pressure directly related to the vacuum's ability to lift and extract dirt off your floor. Second part of that is that because of the increase in suction power, you do find that the smaller size of your Q7 is not a detriment. Actually, it's a benefit because this Q7 can go into smaller places than a Q10 or a Roborock S8 Max V Ultra, specifically because it's more narrow and it's not as wide. So this is reminding me of those value RoboVacs you can get. And the Precise Sense LiDAR here is identical to the S8 Max V Ultra, but is not coming with any of that AI obstacle navigation. It is not coming with any of the reactive tech. So you're not getting any AI chips inside of the Q7. This is really meant to be a value player. But the key part of this value is that as a mop, it is also going to have better performance than its competitors because it has a water tank. And that water tank has adjustable water levels that you can set inside the app. And it still comes with a small but functional auto empty dock, so it doesn't have a big footprint on your floors. And something that rarely ever gets mentioned by other reviewers is that the Roborock Q7, as you use it more and it gets used to your home and your layout, it's going to start getting faster. And that is very impressive. Again, with no AI tech, it is because the mapping technology and that algorithm is still very, very powerful. So let's do our first oatmeal test here. We're going to use oatmeal on the floor and see if we can pick it up. And just for comparison purposes, this is my Saros Z70. You can see how much larger the self-empty station is than on your Q7. Edge and corner cleaning are going to be pretty good because it gets as close as possible to the edges, but it does not come with that extendable mop pad or extendable side brush. So it's not going to be able to get into the exact corner. It doesn't have a shooting air properties here. It doesn't have those features like you get on other flagship models. But in terms of the oatmeal, it's going to pick up all this oatmeal and it's going to do a good job without spreading that oatmeal around by its side brush. So even the side brush here has been engineered to have the same characteristics that we're noticing, where it's going to spin slower and your machine is going to run slower so that it can do a better job picking up things off your floor when it detects there's a lot of things on the floor. And that, even without the AI obstacle detection, is impressive because how is this machine recognizing that except through LiDAR? And when it's mopping, your Q7 is going to curve into edges so it gets more scrubbing action. And that's something we see on the iRobots as well as on the Roborocks.
One thing you'll notice is that your Q10 will use less water than your Q7. Your Q7 will run out of water faster, even though the Q10 is at a higher water level usage setting.
And when you're talking about the Q7 M5's mopping, it's going to be using something called drag mopping. So it's a passive system, so you have a mop pad on the bottom, and it's going to have an electronic pump attached to it that's going to consistently adjust its dampness. So in this setup here, you're going to be getting 3 levels, and the robot is simply going to drag this wet pad across the floor. It is effective as a wet jet replacement, but it is not necessarily meant for dried on or sticky stains or anything that requires a lot of mechanical scrubbing. And in terms of cord management, the Q7 is going to be good for cords, not the best because it doesn't have a front-facing camera. But because of its aggressiveness, it actually will get close and even touch the cords many times, but it won't get tangled in them. And that's because of its smaller size, its different brush roll, and because it likes to just aggressively push itself away from cords when it does sense that it might get tangled. And that's behavior that has been programmed into the machine instead of trying to go slower and then spin around repeatedly that a lot of these AI systems do when they get caught in cord. With that, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll catch you next time. This is Dave with the French Glow, showcasing to you our Roborock